to grab her bike, she spots a strange man watching the house. She hides immediately. Moments later, the man breaks in, forcing Andy to rush back inside to check on her mother. She finds Laura tied up while the intruder tries to strangle her. Andy quickly sends a silent emergency alert, then grabs a table lamp and strikes the man from behind. A fight breaks out, and in the struggle, Andy manages to shove the attacker backward. His head slams into a hammer left on the floor, killing him instantly. Andy tells her mother that the police are on the way, but instead of relief, Laura reacts with panic. She tells Andy to search the man's pockets and take his phone. Then she hands Andy a new phone, a key, and a stack of cash. She instructs her to drive to Carlton, find storage unit 320, and take the car inside. From there, Andy must head to Maine and wait for further instructions. Confused but scared, Andy follows everything her mother says and leaves just minutes before the police arrive. After a long drive, Andy reaches Carlton and stops at a small cafe to look up the storage facility's address. She remembers the attacker at their house mentioning a woman named Paula Kuntz, but a quick search brings up nothing useful. Meanwhile, Detective Wilson returns to the hospital to question Laura about the emergency call from that night. Laura claims she had a PTSD episode and thought she saw someone who was not actually there. Once the detective leaves, Laura immediately calls Gordon and urges him to come home right away. Her voice is filled with fear, and Gordon rushes back. At the same time, Andy notices a man watching the car she arrived in. Realizing she is being monitored, she slips out through the back door and runs. By chance, she ends up right in front of the storage facility she has been looking for. She uses the access card her mother gave her, opens Unit 320, and finds a car waiting inside. Inside the vehicle, she discovers a loaded gun, emergency supplies, a suitcase full of cash, and several identification cards along with old photos of Laura. The discovery only raises more questions, but with no idea whom to trust and nowhere else to go, Andy gets in the car and continues her journey toward Maine. Meanwhile, Gordon arrives home and immediately asks where Andy is. Laura tells him that Andy is already on the road heading toward Maine. Then she reveals something even more alarming. The intruder from earlier is not dead. He is tied up inside a closet, still barely alive. Gordon wants to call the police, but Laura stops him. She explains that the man was supposed to meet someone at 3 in the morning to collect payment, and if they wait, they might finally learn who is targeting Andy. Gordon hesitates at first, but when Laura admits that someone from her past is hunting her and threatens Andy's life, he decides to help her. On the way to the meeting point, the injured man suddenly goes into seizures. Before taking his final breath, he warns them that his boss will find them and kill them. The moment rattles Gordon, who demands answers. Laura finally admits that someone dangerous from her past has resurfaced, and Gordon commits to standing by her. Elsewhere, Andy, exhausted from the long drive, stops